Hi guys, hi from Andrea Unger, patterns in trading. So who follows my material knows that I seldom use indicators in my trading systems. And who follows me more in depth also knows that I base most of my buildings in trading systems on patterns, chart patterns. But the way I use them is not the conventional way. I use patterns, but I start from a basic model without patterns. And on this basic model, which would be a trend following model, a counter trend model, or even a bias model, on this model, I then insert filters from a library, proprietary library of patterns to understand how market reacts to different situations. My patterns try to identify the situation in the market, and based on the response of the system on my pattern application, I try to understand the dynamics of a market, and then I use patterns to filter the trade from the basic model. And this is the Unger way to use patterns. But when we talk about patterns, immediately what comes into our mind is the classical patterns from technical analysis or from price action. And these patterns are the setup, the base, the start of a trade. There is the pattern, I take the trade if the pattern is broken from a breakout or something. Does this work? The evidence is in numbers. And what I do is I test different situations. I remember, you might know I am a member of SIAT, the Italian Society of Technical Analysis, part of IFTA. And I was a standard member, now I am a honorary member. I have been part previously in the scientific committee of SIAT. And having been asked to, I wrote an article about engulfing bullish, this well-known candlestick technical analysis pattern. I run a number of tests with software simply to define that there was no way, in my opinion, to make this pattern work. So my response was, this pattern doesn't work as it is supposed to do from literature. A disaster. People got angry. You cannot say this pattern needs to be contextualized. It needs to be understood in what situation it has to work and so on and blah, 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 blah. So I said, I tried to place the pattern in specific situations with some filters, trend filters and a number of situations. But in the end, I did not find a unique way to say, yes, this pattern works if no. I'm not able to make this pattern work. And this pattern is reported as one of the most successful and strongest in the candlestick theory. But my test did not show any evidence of the strength of this pattern. What I said is, I believe that people who, from the Society of Technical Analysis, became mad at me, saying that I had to understand the pattern. These people were people working with candlestick patterns, making a living of candlestick patterns. So finding Andrea Unger writing, this pattern doesn't work, it was outrageous. But what I answered is that probably these people, with their putting the pattern in the right place, the contextualizing the pattern and so on, in the end did use their feeling, their particular feeling of the markets. So something that is not something algorithmic, but is something very human. And they were able to find the way to make the pattern work because they had that something that gave them the right answer or the right reading of the pattern. But the standard student reading a book or going through a course about candlesticks probably had not the same feeling, and normally started his way to ruin, because that pattern, that specific one, but many others, simply didn't work the way it was supposed to do. But I'm not here to say patterns of technical analysis don't work. Only algo trading, the way I do it, is the way to go. No, I don't claim this. It's the truth, but no, just kidding. But I test things. So I started a path of tests a long time ago, and now I try to put everything together, and I will do that in this magazine about automated trading from myself, and this is me. And in different chapters, I will go through a number of well-known patterns with classical entries, exit, and different ways to use the pattern to see what works in front of evidence of numbers. Because the right way to go is to test things. If the test is positive, you can use it. If the test is negative, you have to understand why it is negative. Maybe there is a reason, and maybe once you found the reason, you find a way to make it work. Or if it simply doesn't work and there is no reason to have it working, you abandon it. I did that, and I can anticipate that one of the patterns that surprisingly showed the cleanest results were classical pattern, entry at breakout of the pattern, stop loss at the opposite part of the pattern, take profit 3 times the stop. So very, very basic situation is the outside bar. The outside bar is a pattern that normally, in my Andrea Unger trading style, normally blocks you from trend following entries, because such a large range bar, because an outside bar is obviously a large range bar being larger than previous bar, normally inhibits the trend, because you have had decision and now you have a period of choppy markets, and therefore you don't enter for a breakout, for a trend. And in this case, looking for a trend for this pattern was a surprise for me to see that there are situations where the pattern produces profits. So it's interesting, and I'm very happy that I run this test, because I found interesting results I can use in my trading, that you can use in your trading if you read these articles, and in any case, if you follow what we do. And I put this everything. It will be many chapters, because there are many patterns, the classical patterns: outside, inside, engulfing, pin bars, hammer, hanging man, whatever. All these very well-known technical analysis patterns. I tried to put them together into systems to see if and how they work. That's it, guys. If you have experience with patterns, please comment here below. It will be interesting to share, and I will keep you updated and posted about new outcomes in this research. In the meantime, ciao from Andrea Unger. See you next time. Ciao. Enjoyed it? Click the link below and you will be noticed as soon as new material is available.